So, as you've gone through your journey of starting as an outside sales rep and then an inside sales rep into a regional, divisional, executive vice president, with 210 communities, and then founding Senior Living Smart, I'm curious what traits you find make a good salesperson, a good sales leader.
Well, I think it is a hard leap to go from an individual contributor to motivating a team because it's easy to get results through your own work and your own effort, but trying to get that work through influence and helping people kind of rise up to the best that they can be just takes a whole different skill set. And being on the other side of it, I had promoted people from the community level into regionals and they crashed and burned. They just didn't have a way of transferring that same skill set. And I think probably the best things are modeling and coaching and just doing alongside of your sales team. If you come in, with an authoritarian attitude or just do it my way attitude, or you get so focused on your KPIs and metrics that you just end up really demoralizing your sales team. You have to walk alongside them, understand where their strengths are, and build on the strengths that they have, while you're also kind of modeling maybe things that they're missing or things that they have a gap in their skill set for.
Getting feedback up as much as down. And I love that because I think so often a regional is looked at as this like one up person that is always giving feedback to the salesperson. But if the regional does a tour, how cool is that for the salesperson to be able to give constructive feedback to them? And then that creates a two-way street, I think, and opens up probably a lot more communication as well.
Yeah, I think the regional position is the hardest position in the industry because you have to successfully manage up, down, and across.
Yeah.
And that's really hard to do. Like I would have regionals that were great managing down. They had great relationships, almost too close of relationships with the community team members. And then they lost the ability to kind of have maybe some difficult conversations because they felt like they could only influence. It wasn't about leadership. It was about likership.
Mm,
And you cannot lead with likership.
yeah.
Then I would find others that did a really good job managing across their regional team, but they didn't have relationships, with the ED and the salesperson. And then some people just really struggle to manage up. They just don't know how to engage with confidence with the corporate level.
You mentioned kind of difficult conversations. So I wanted to ask you about that because I'm sure over, your years of experience and then now with, Senior Living Smart, when somebody reaches out to you and says, hey, I'd love for you to do an assessment on my website, how do you build that courage and not let that be a roadblock to having those conversations? Or whether it's a salesperson with a prospect.
They're always delicate to manage, right? You always have to understand like what is the personality that you're dealing with? Like, are they very sensitive? Can you be more direct? I usually start off with things that they're doing really well because there's always things that you can reinforce and say, you know what, these things are going really well. Same with the website, even if it's more of a marketing analysis, we always start off, we do a thing called a TOPA, which is a total online presence audit. And it really assesses the digital health of a brand. Here's what's working well. Here's what we see as wins. But then here are the things that, we just want to shore up for you because it's about having opportunity. Like these are some things are quick wins. I always like to start with those. Here are the things we can do today, and you should be able to see results in 30 days. Here are the things that honestly are going to take longer. It takes longer to build SEO and, some search AI overviews, things like that. And even in the sales process, there are things that are more tactical that you can get quick wins on. And there are other things that are more of a skill set that they're just either emotionally uncomfortable or they have a roadblock to it. And that just takes a whole lot of practice and reinforcement and coaching.